Part 2, 22 Creedmoor, aka 22 Bleedmoor, son. In today's video, it's all about factory. We're gonna check out both of Hornady's factory offerings for the 22 Creedmoor, the match and the precision hunter. We're gonna look at speeds. We're gonna test accuracy at 100. As always, we're gonna take it out at distance. And then we're gonna look at weird things like, if you had it zeroed to your match ammo and you wanted to go hunting that night, could you use your precision hunter ammo without changing your zero? We're gonna check all that out. And then lastly, this beautiful piece you see in front of me here, we're gonna do it all through what I consider to be a factory rifle offering. Let's go. Welcome back. Thank you so much for the success of the first 22 Bleedmoor video. That thing's got over 422,000 views right now. Absolute insanity. I had no intention or any idea that it would climb to that success. So thank you again so much. I knew I wanted to do a follow-up video to that literally ever since I filmed it, because I just saw a couple things I felt like I could correct in my rifle. And the first being shortening the barrel. As you can see, this beautiful thing in front of me, this is what I consider to be a factory 22 Creedmoor offering. One you can literally just go order, buy off the shelf right now, and get in and shoot. So I thought, hey, if we're gonna test factory loads, we should probably do it with a factory rifle. And then I compare the speeds later to it through my gun. But the way this all came about is, as I was looking for the right rifle to do this with, I was looking at different factory offerings. There weren't a whole lot in the 22 Creed yet. That's changed a little bit. What I kept seeing in predator hunting forums, on Facebook, what have you, is this twisted barrel. It kept catching my attention. Guys were dropping a lot of coyotes and hogs, feral hogs, with this twisted barrel rifle. And I'm like, man, what is that? So I started digging in. Well, interestingly enough, it led me to the same place I had to go to get factory ammo, which is a company out of Texas called Horizon Firearms. This company, the owner Derek, they were the originators of 22 Creed. I mean, literally this guy was spinning up barrels and chambering it in a Wildcat round back then 10 years ago. And so talk about experience with this cartridge, they seriously know their stuff. That being said, they also have an agreement with Hornady where in order to buy the factory rounds, they have a special where you have to go through Horizon, and so that's where I got it. But anyway, so I'm scrolling their website, I'm looking for ammo, and sure enough, there's that twisted barrel rifle I keep seeing. So I started digging into it. I started on a Savage, guys. I am not rifle shaming here, but what I will tell you is I have found with most factory offerings, you can get some guns that shoot very well. But as far as functionality in the field with dirt and grime or snow or dust or what have you, they lose function very quickly, especially the ability to feed. That was one of the big issues that I found with some of these other offerings, like a Savage and a Rimmage barrel and different things like that. So I knew I didn't want that. I wanted something that I knew would be consistent and could feed. And so I started digging into this rifle. This rifle is called the Vandal X. All right, again, I'd seen it all over online and noted it by the twisted barrel. So I looked up the company a little bit and I asked for a call with the owner. So I got on the phone with this guy and started digging deeper into the rifle, how he came up with the concept, what he's doing with it, and how they're able to pump out such incredible shooting rigs with quality components and do it at such a low price point. And so anyway, long story short, man, I was impressed. Basically, they own the stock company, they own the action maker, and I don't think they own the barrel maker, but they're certainly tied in tight enough that they're getting these things at a price that is just absolutely unheard of. So he talked me into it. I was like, all right, I'm gonna try one out. Man, I've got hundreds of rounds down this rifle. This little gun will flat out shoot, as you will see later. It's an 18-inch barrel. This thing is absolutely hammered. Guys, I'm talking half MOA, all day long with freaking factory loads. It's incredible what this little Vandal X has done chambered in the 22 Creedmoor. So Anyway, I've been super pleased with it. Really quickly, let's kind of go through it. Starting in the back, this is an Iota stock. Again, now they own this company. I think it's all part of a parent company, but it's carbon fiber stock, good little stock. Now, you know me, I like an adjustable cheek piece. That was my first complaint to him. He's like, I know, I get it. We hear it all the time. So I don't know if they're gonna offer that in the future, but it kind of sounded like they probably would. However, some guys, especially with their hunting rigs, they do not want that. So it's just a preference thing. It's got like a polymer bottom metal. I've not had any issue with it. Now, I've not taken this thing and really crashed it around a ton yet. I think I got 300 rounds down this barrel right now. So I've certainly got experience with the rifle and feel confident, comfortable saying it's a great shooting rig. But the polymer, it didn't give me any issues whatsoever. And this mag, I don't know if they make this mag or not. It's got their logo on it. It's a polymer mag, but dadgum, guys, this thing fed. I've not had a single feeding issue. And I've put it through kind of some torture tests where I tried to run it fast and in super heat and heated the barrel up and did, you know, took it hunting, got it dirty, you know, did some of that stuff, and it has fed exceptionally well. So, yeah, that issue as far as concern of feeding, you can check that off your list. This thing fed exceptionally well. Now, my only other knock at all on this is it doesn't come with a rail, ARCA rail. So I just added an Area 419 rail in like 2 seconds. The stock itself, the inside of it comes with little cavities. And so drilling out a hole and putting that in literally took me like 5 minutes. It was really quick. So no problem there. It's been awesome ever since from that perspective. The barrel, guys, 18-inch barrel, I'm getting tremendous speeds with factory loads. Both these 80s are doing right at 3,100 feet per second. I mean, and when I put these through my other gun, which is a 24-inch barrel, it was like 3,300 feet per second. So I'm giving up 200, 220 feet per second to chop my overall footprint down by 6 inches. That's exceptional. I'll take that all day, every day of the week. Like, no doubt about it, especially considering I'm still up around that 3,100 mark with factory loads. Like, that's awesome, awesome, awesome. So I don't know what they're doing. They guarantee half MOA accuracy, and that has held true certainly with all the rounds I put through this, and I've been tracking it literally from around 0 to around 300, tracking speed change and what have you. The barrel did speed up, as all barrels do, after about 120 rounds. Actually, it happened a little bit quicker on this one, but I tracked that about 30 feet per second. That's a great note, guys. So important to break your barrel in before you start doing like load development or what have you, or you go, oh, this barrel won't shoot. Guys, so a lot of times it just needs to be broken in. Get the rounds down the barrel, and then start doing load development, testing your factory loads for accuracy. The accuracy of these two actually changed. The Hunter was shooting like 0.3s. This was shooting around 0.7, 0.8. After the barrel sped up, it kind of swapped. The Match now is shooting like a 0.3 on average, and the Precision Hunter is more in the 0.5, 0.6 range. So again, important to break in your stuff, know your gear, spend time with it. So from the barrel back to the action, okay? This action, and this is kind of what won me on this being the factory rifle that I was gonna choose. Here's why. This is a Stiller action, okay? These guys own Stiller. So they own Iota stocks, they own Stiller actions, and the thing about a Stiller action is they've been around a long time. I've seen these, guys used to use these in competition. I know a Stiller action is gonna be cut well. I know it's gonna be squared up. I know it's gonna be trued. Here was always my biggest issue with the factory rifles. Issue number one, the feeding. I've literally not had a single feeding issue. This has been phenomenal, check. But number two was, when I shot out the barrel, and I know a lot of you go, oh, I'll never shoot out a barrel. You will. You get into this enough, you will. I thought I never would either. I was wrong. But this action specifically, I know that when I go to get another barrel, I can call Horizon or any other smith and say, hey, here's my Stiller action, have them measure it, and then they can cut me a barrel perfect to that action. That's what won me on this rifle ultimately. Outside of the fact it looks absolutely sick, freaking awesome looking, and guys were dropping yotes with it left and right, coyotes, the fact that it's run on a Stiller action and all this whole package here for 2,800 bucks, coming with the rail, the mag, everything, it was a no-brainer. Highly recommend it. And then on the front, as many of you guessed, that is right, your boys found a fix for having a tremendous amount of suppression and limiting my overall footprint extension off the end of my muzzle. And that is AB suppressors. Guys, it's an AB suppressor Raptor 10 with a 3-inch reflux. Now, when I first started running this, I ran my 5-inch reflux, which fits. The sound suppression is phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. The accuracy is phenomenal. It didn't mess anything up. It didn't do any of that stuff. That reflux has added more ability and sound suppression with me only adding 7 inches to the end of the muzzle. Bada bing, that's what I'm talking about. I have absolutely loved this AB Raptor 10. I will probably get a AB Raptor 8 and I'll be able to cut down almost another full inch off of my total length here. And so the sound suppression has been so good with this. On the Raptor 10, it's probably a little overkill just for this particular cartridge. And so I'll probably get a Raptor 8 with a 3-inch reflux. It's probably what I'll end up running on this. But man, I've been so impressed with that. And so my total length is cut down substantially. Here it is, guys. Look at this. Unbelievable, the length difference, okay? Going suppressor to suppressor tip, it's like a whole nother third of a gun. 44.5 inches total footprint. This bad boy, right under 53 inches. So I've cut 9 inches off my total footprint and only given up 200 feet per second in speed. Yes, please. Okay, I want to start with Hornady's Match 108 ELD-Ms, and I'm just going to shoot them rocket fire. I'm going to just do 2 3-shot groups really quickly, and this is a 5-round mag, which is why I'm loading it up as such. So we got 6 rounds here. Hornady Factory ELD Match 22 Creedmoor 80 grain ammunition. Here we go. Bottom left. It's awesome. All right, I'm gonna let it cool for a second, and then we'll do the ELDXs. All right, I should probably wait longer, but I want to get to the really long range stuff today, so I'm not going to. Make sure we're good to go, so everything's in check again. So now we're moving to the Hornady Precision Hunter 22 Creed ELDX, and we're gonna do another really fast 6-shot, little 3-shot and 3-shot group. Here we go. Little group. It's so funny because when I was breaking the barrel in the first couple 100 rounds, the ELDX shot tighter than the M's, and now that the barrel sped up, it looks like maybe that switch. Let's see. loads, man. 22 Creedmoor, 22 Bleedmoor, baby. 80 grain ELD X and M. Both of them shot for factory loads out of a factory gun. Dadgum. I'll take that all day, son. 30.87. Looks like the average was 30.81. If this camera angle's a little off, the camera's literally sitting on the back of my truck because I don't have enough tripods. But I wanted to take this and do a little test. Let's say you were zeroed for ELD match, for a match or something, and you wanted to go out hunting that night. Could you take your ELDX Precision Hunter without changing your zero and keep the same zero and go hunting? Short answer is yeah, you probably could, depending on distance. So I wanted to see what that distance was. So I'm loading up 3 ELDXs preceded by 3 ELDMs, and then I'm gonna send it at a coyote target at 400 yards and bring you along for the journey. Now it's a 5-round mag, so I'm gonna load 1 round in the chamber, safety on, and load the mag up. We're not gonna stop, we're not gonna change our dope, we're not gonna do any of that stuff. So let's check it out. It's a little windy out there. I'm gonna give her 3 tenths here. See how we do. Starting with the 80 grain ELDMs. Here we go. Okay, M's onto the X's now, changing nothing. Here we go. $400 yards, 3 ELD matches, followed by 3 ELDXs, 6 up, 6 down. Awesome, 6 hits, let's do it. Let's move it back. Now, let's take it to 600. Why not? We crazy. ELD X's preceded by the ELD matches. And let's see what happens. Let's get wild. Load 1 in here. Let's send it down 600 yards. ELD matches to start. Packed. Couldn't tell where. Packed. Packed. All right, changing nothing. ELD X's. Here we go. That wind's kicking. Packed, I believe. Last one. Six up, 6 down. I would not recommend this, especially not off a tripod, but that is really cool. We sent 3 ELD matches, 80 grain ELDMs, impact, 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 followed immediately by 3 ELDXs of the Precision Hunter loads, factory ammo, factory rifle, 18-inch barrel, 600 yards, off a tripod, very accurate size cow target, 6 up, 6 down, baby. Love it. Ah, awesome. Now, let's really stretch it. Let's take it out to 1,000 and measure our variance. All right, guys, it's hot out here, so I'm gonna hustle through this. But We know it shoots exceptionally well at 100, 400, 500, 600 yards. So I was curious, I wonder what it'll do at 1,000. So I'm gonna take 3 shots with the ELDMs and then change nothing, and then do 3 shots with the X's and just measure the variance. Now it looks like there's already 2 impacts on the bottom left of that target, so discard those. We'll work around those. And but then I'm gonna go down and measure. So yeah, I think it'll be fun. Let's check it out. Bottom of the plate. Now I'm gonna adjust this. No, I'm not. I'm gonna hold tight. Let's do it. A little bit higher. Bottom of the plate. Good little group actually. So real quickly here then, I'm gonna load up 3 ELDXs and send the same thing. Obviously my dope is off here, but hopefully this will be on plate. We can measure the variance. If not, I'll adjust my dope. We'll do this again. Here we go. Oh, boom, look at that, just bottom left of the center dot there. Almost touching. Wow. Oh my gosh. What an incredible group with factory loads on a factory 18-inch rifle. That is exceptional. And the spread between those two is minimal. My goodness gracious. Wow. That's impressive. All right guys, here we are, 1,000 yards. I could not be more impressed with factory ammo out of the factory 18-inch rifle. Unbelievable, it's just fantastic. Total group size, it looks like, and I'll have to check footage, but I believe 1, 2, 3, I think these were the ELDXs. 1, 2, 3, I think those were the M's. And so total group here is about 22 inches, total spread. This group, the group was like 7 inches, and the group with the M's was like 8. So under an MOA at 1,000 yards, well under an MOA, like 0.7, 0.6-ish. But then total group, only 22 inches variance. Now, if you go from the middle of each group, I think that's a more accurate depiction, 15.5 inches. So basically what I'm saying is, if you were really that guy, 15.5 inches, you could probably still shoot at a coyote at 1,000 yards, up to 1,000 yards without changing your distance. I'm not recommending that. I'm not saying that you should do that, all right? I'm just saying the consistency between the ELD match ammunition in 22 Bleedmoor, Creedmoor, and the ELD, the Precision Hunter, the ELDX ammunition is so close. Wow. I didn't change anything on the gun, on the scope, nothing. That's super impressive. 1,000 yards. Color me impressed. So closing thoughts. Guys, you've seen the performance. This thing shot lights out at 100 yards, really good speeds, considering it's an 18-inch barrel, unbelievable speeds. Then we took it to 400, 500, 600. I loaded up 6 rounds of each. Hit, 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 hit. No zero change, no nothing. All right, so in theory, you wouldn't have to, if you had this loaded for like a match scenario or something, you could swap that hunter ammo in and go hunt that night. Most of you should not be taking kill shots past 400 yards anyways. So 0 to 400 all day long. I wouldn't even recommend that you would necessarily need to change your zero given swapping the 2 ammos. Incredible. And then at 1,000 yards, I was shocked with the results there, guys. 18-inch gun, Horizon Firearms, Vandal X, really impressed me. The factory loads from Hornady, both the ELD match, 80 grain ELD match, and the 80 grain ELD X Precision Hunter were typical Hornady. They freaking hammered. You're talking very comfortably half MOA to 0.75 MOA all day long. Color me impressed. Guys, the 22 Bleedmoor Creedmoor is here to stay. This cartridge is offering higher BC, longer, better performing bullets at speeds that we've not seen before, and doing it in packages that are just the absolute ultimate predator killing machines. If you are looking for the easy button, you are just a factory guy, you're like, man, I just want to buy ammo and buy a rifle and be done. I don't want to load develop, I don't want to do any of that stuff. I would highly recommend the Hornady loads for sure, and this Vandal X for 2,800 bucks, you can't beat it. I'm thoroughly impressed, and even more than just the accuracy and the look, which is phenomenal, and the overall feel of it, it's just fun. It's just a fun little rifle. It's a fun little rifle to shoot. I've had a ton of fun with it, and yeah, I look forward to taking it on many more hunts. Guys, really appreciate you. Please, if there are other ideas for videos and comments, anything more you want to see with the 22 Bleedmoor, please let me know. Thank you again so much for watching. We will check you next time. Hit the range.